Okay, so now we've created our draw animation, our fire animation, and I've just opened up the reload. Now this particular animation is 38 frames long, so just go ahead and change that before you start. And we're going to be using a little bit of a different technique. The reload animation is where a lot of the interest is, so don't be afraid to mix things up a little. Okay, I believe what Valve have done is they've begun with a part of the fire animation. So maybe just drag things out again a bit. Because when it comes to blending the animations, you can indeed hold down reload while you are shooting and it will blend the two animations. It can look a little weird if you haven't got a partial fire at the start, or in fact a whole fire. It's really up to you how you choose to approach this. Tweaks are never a problem. And I forgot to change the pivot, so I'm again suffering with this. Just go ahead and end this little animation with your negative 47, or in fact 0 at the moment. Okay, once you've got your shoot at the beginning, this is where the fun starts. You can basically do whatever you want. Just make it attractive. So reload the gun in a bit of a different way to normal. Make sure you set a 0. Because animations are all affected by the previous frames. This could be a bit of an interesting way to reload, but oh well. Just go through and we'll get to the tricky part in a second. Before you start tweaking, finish an animation. It's much easier. Okay, we're probably going to want him to open up his fingers, so again, negative 47 coming in handy. Unless you didn't set it like me, in which case it won't come in handy. Just set a 0, or in fact a 4, because that's where the partial shoot ends and the reload begins. Then, just rotate the fingers open. If you notice some clipping, just fix it, it's no big deal. Now we want him to take hold of the magazine. Just rotate the bones however you see fit, just as long as it doesn't look like he's breaking any limbs or anything. Okay, now this here is where the fun begins. This is where problems can arise. That looks a little funky. Maybe I'll get rid of that. Or maybe just make it a little less extreme. maybe a little more. Whatever works for you. Now we're gonna, again, just wrap the fingers around the clip. You can use this as it was set to 0 before. You can just right-click the slider, source times 0, destination time 15, and look at that, he's grabbing the clip. We might want to move this over a bit. Clipping is never a good thing. Just rotate it till it works. And move. But do not scale. Scale is bad. Okay, here's where the fun begins. You remember this little clip bone we've got? Here we can change what it is linked to. That is indeed what we're going to do. If you just simply press add link once again, you can, at the 15th frame, change the link from the weapon bone to the hand. If I've done this incorrectly, it will provide some weird results. Maybe if I can click the right thing. There, now the magazine is attached to the hand. If you set this up as I showed you in the beginning, you shouldn't have a problem with this. Oh god, what am I doing? Okay. Just drag it on out, make sure there's no clipping, because nobody likes clipping. Just like that right there. Nobody likes that. Look at that, it's come out nicely. And what you'll want to do is obviously take the clip out of the frame so that it can no longer be seen, because there is only one. And then we will set it to our 15 or whichever frame it was that it was last in the gun, in the correct position, because we do want everything to look nice and work well together. It's probably a little fast. I haven't really spent much time on this animation. In fact, I could probably cut that down a bit. Perhaps a bit less than that. And then just add in these little in-betweens.